Welcome and thank you for joining into today's Positive Forward Motion. This is your host, Denise Scattergood. Each week, I discuss a topic that is designed to help you get more of what you do want and less of what you don't want, both personally and professionally. My goal is to add value to others by sharing a topic in 8 minutes or less, topics that will empower, motivate, and inspire you to have more happiness and success. Today's topic is empathy. Empathy is an incredibly important piece of our human experience. And research shows when we're aware and show empathy for others, those close to us, and even complete strangers, we have more meaningful relationships in both our personal and our professional lives. And I'm sure you have had a moment where you have said to yourself, they just don't understand me, or nobody understands what I'm going through. Well, when you're feeling this way, I want you to remember that you may not be the only one feeling this way. Having empathy is all about seeing things beyond our own personal point of view. And if you wish others had more empathy for you, perhaps it's time that you started practicing empathy with others. And here's why. When we're empathetic, it helps us connect positively with others. It also improves our interpersonal skills, which is important for improving personal and professional relationships. This is especially true when working in positions such as sales, customer service, learning and teaching environments, and the hospitality industry. When we show others that we are interested and genuinely care about them, we become more approachable. Empathy also helps us see our world from a different perspective, which is a skill that we should all practice. And let me give you a few examples of the benefits of being empathetic. When we're empathetic, you will find it easier to deal with the negativity in others. You'll have more patience and less stress. You will learn how to motivate the people around you. You will understand the perception of your words and behavior on others. You will be able to more accurately predict the reactions of people that you interact with. And you will become more aware of the needs of your team members and customers that you work with. And additionally, when you're empathetic and another person trusts us enough to give us their confidence and share some of their most vulnerable and maybe even traumatic experiences, it can feel like an honor and make us feel important. But as you know, too much of anything can be bad for us. So I also want to share the flip side of having too much empathy. And yes, there is such a thing. Too much empathy can lead to irrational decision making and can cause empathy fatigue, which is otherwise known as compassion fatigue. So I want you to think of your empathy like a gas tank. Every time you feel empathy for another person, your tank empties just a little more. And if you don't remember to refill your tank, you run the risk of running empty. So while it's important to have an empathetic mindset, remember that there is value in knowing when something is too much for you to expend your energy on at that time. And it's important to practice a healthy balance. I've compiled 5 action steps that you can start practicing today to help you have a healthy relationship with empathy, which will enhance your relationships with others. Number 1 is listen. When you actively listen when someone is speaking to you, they will be more drawn in and open towards you, especially if you find yourself in a conflict. Wait until the other person is done speaking to respond and don't cut them off. Then ask follow-up questions because this is a great way to show someone that you are genuinely listening to them. And it's important to remember that listening to someone doesn't just mean listening to their words. It also means hearing what's not being said by paying attention to their body language and their tone of voice. This will give you insight to how they may be feeling without them directly saying it. Number 2, walk in their shoes. Imagine the situation from the other person's point of view. Sometimes a disagreement can stem from a simple misunderstanding. And if you take a moment to see where they might be coming from and what they might be feeling, you might see that they weren't being as unreasonable as you may have originally thought. And when you take a moment to walk in another person's shoes, you can find more ways to connect and to effectively communicate with them. Number 3, develop your emotional awareness. Practicing your reflection on your own emotions will in turn help you better understand others' emotions. And once you're able to understand your own emotional reactions as they happen, you'll better be able to relax, pay attention, listen, and understand the same in others. Number 4, catch your judgment. If you find yourself tense, annoyed, or frustrated in a situation, remember that judgment is also just an emotion. Take a deep breath, try to shift your thoughts towards compassion and respect, and then go back to step 1 and listen. And number 5, reflect on your own personal experiences. Think back to a time where you may have been sad from a breakup, maybe a job loss, an illness, or a difficult situation. And when you do, you will be able to help others see that there is hope and that things can get better with time. When we practice empathy and have a healthy balance with compassion for others, we feel helpful and purposeful. And this can also help us to see our problems in a different light. I have a sign hanging on my office door to remind me to help others, and it says, "We rise by lifting others." I find this to be very true, and I hope you find it to be true as well, because practicing empathy and compassion is a great way for us to spread positive energies throughout our world. Thank you for supporting Positive Forward Motion. And don't forget to tune in every Wednesday for a brand new episode that will empower, motivate, and inspire you to be your best both personally and professionally. And as always, you can find a free PDF worksheet of my action steps under each podcast episode on my website, DeniseScattergood.com. And if you'd like to stay in the know of all things Positive Forward Motion, like workshops and special events, be sure to connect with me on Instagram and Facebook at Denise Scattergood. You can find me on Twitter at Alert Trainers. You can also text the word positive to 313131, and you'll be opted in for updates and daily doses of positivity. If you enjoyed this episode, please review and share to help spread our message of positivity. And remember, no matter how small your step is, as long as you take it in the right direction, that's what I call positive forward motion.